So to start, my sister Vicky is extremely judgmental. When she and my brother-in-law Tom found out that their son Joe was gay, this was a few years ago, they vowed to kick him out the moment he turned 18. Well, a few weeks ago, his 18th birthday came around and, true to their word, Tom woke Joe up at midnight and threw him out of the house with nothing but the backpack Joe had packed. Joe then had to walk for an hour in the rain to get to my house across town. At around 1:15 a.m., I was woken up by my doorbell ringing. When I answered, he gave me the rundown and asked if he could stay with me while he got on his feet. I obviously said yes. About 2 days later, Vicky texted the family group chat trying to see if anyone knew where Joe had gone. Joe had blocked both of their numbers. Apparently, them kicking Joe out like that was a heat-of-the-moment decision that they deeply regret. I asked Joe if he wanted her to know where he was, and he said that he didn't want her to have anything to do with him. I just sent a generic, "I haven't seen him," to the group chat. Well, somehow, don't ask me how, I don't know. Vicky and Tom found out that Joe was staying with me and put me on blast to the whole family for lying to Vicky when she was desperate to get her son back. Everyone but Joe is against me on this, which has me wondering, am I the idiot? They timed kicking him out to the second after he turned 18, thereby immunizing them from legal liability. After warning and threatening Joe in advance, the whole travesty was premeditated. The only opinion here that matters is Joe's. So unequivocally not the idiot. Everything else is homophobia-enabling noise. Big thumbs up, OP. Also, 2 days later it took them 2 days to realize a heat-of-the-moment decision? BS. Someone asked about their son or called them out, and they're trying to save face. I can't believe the entire family is against me here. They all sound like unredeemable people. And thank goodness this poor kid has one decent family member. It's ridiculous that this kind of thing still happens just because someone is gay. Right? I don't know why they bothered lying after all that time. Honestly, I'm wondering if, with many people believing being gay is a choice, they expected him to just agree to stop being gay when he saw that they were really kicking him out. Now that he's gone and they're blocked, they're shocked and want to act like it was nothing, discipline or some BS. Definitely, the nephew needs somewhere safe, and his parents clearly aren't that. He's 18 and he gets to decide what they have access to with him now. I'm sure they had this vision in mind. They would kick him out. He would spend a few nights roughing it on the streets. He would come crawling back, begging for their forgiveness for his choice to be gay. When they didn't get the satisfaction of him demeaning himself after 48 hours, they realized their plan wasn't going to work. Scare him straight became, "Oh no, we've lost our son." Since the news came through a group chat, I strongly urge you to set the record straight. Tell everyone that they had told their nephew he would be kicked out of their home as soon as he turned 18, even though he was still in school. True to their word, they entered his bedroom at midnight on his birthday to execute their plan. In the middle of the night, he was forced to leave with only the clothes on his back and a small backpack. They carried out a cruel and calculated decision that had been years in the making. Good luck, OP. You're a wonderful aunt and human being. My sister-in-law, her husband, and their child currently live with me, my husband, and our 3 children. Their house burned down and is currently being rebuilt. They have been staying with us for 2 months. My sister-in-law works overnight 3 nights a week, while her husband is currently unemployed. I work from home, and my husband installs docks 5 to 6 days a week. Even on the days when my sister-in-law doesn't work, she insists that my children remain quiet and not make any noise at all, as she wants to sleep until 4 or 5 p.m. after going to bed at 11 p.m. the night before. She claims her body can't handle the sleeping schedule, but she refuses to switch to day shifts. I am honestly tired of constantly trying to keep my kids quiet all day and most of the afternoon, just so she can sleep while also trying to work. My son has ADHD and is often very energetic, so I constantly have to stop what I'm doing to discipline him for having fun in his own home. I told my husband that this arrangement was not working and that we needed to sit down with my sister-in-law and come up with a solution. So we sat her down yesterday and gave her 3 options. Buy noise-canceling headphones, sleep in a camper on our property, or change her work schedule. I made it clear that I will not be telling my kids to be quiet all day anymore. She said she cannot sleep with headphones, doesn't want to change her schedule due to the pay difference, and cannot afford a camper. I told her those were her only options, and she could take it or leave it. Today I didn't try to keep my kids quiet. I shouldn't have to in their own home. My sister-in-law complained because she couldn't sleep, and I told her that it was her problem. I had given her options, but she refused all of them. Am I the one in the wrong? At it, her husband has been unemployed for as long as I have. I've known him for 8 years, but there's no reason behind it. She helps with around $200 worth of food a month because we all eat meals together. Other than that, there's nothing else. So, if only $200 a month is supposed to feed her family, how much were they spending before the house burned down? I really want to know. Not the idiot. Beggars can't be choosers. You've taken her in after the fire, which is the decent thing to do. Your children's home comes first. She needs to remember that. Keeping your kids quiet 24/7 for an indefinite period of time is not a viable solution. She insists on sleeping from 11 p.m. to 4 p.m., which is 17 hours. Did I read that wrong? Please tell me I did. She absolutely doesn't need that much sleep. I understand wanting to sleep in if you're up late, but she's sleeping 16 hours a day. She needs to talk to a doctor to find out why. If there's no medical issue, then tough luck. I have an option. My sister-in-law's husband can get a job so they can rent a place and live as they choose. He needs to contribute something to this arrangement. You shouldn't have to deal with the inconvenience of housing another family, working a full-time job, and taking care of your children. At the same time, you're doing all of this while there's a freeloading adult in your house who needs to earn their keep. I love this option, but I don't understand why your sister-in-law is living with you in the first place. Most insurance policies provide money for alternate accommodations while the house is being repaired after a fire. Check the policy for loss of use. I was looking for this comment. I bet she's pocketing the cash and taking advantage of you. Does her husband not work? What does he do all day? These people seem like scammers who are taking advantage of you. They get free daycare for their child, free rent, and the insurance gives them a nice monthly stipend. My husband, 36, and I, 33, female, have been married for 8 years and have 3 kids, a kindergartner, a toddler, and an infant. I'm still recovering from my planned C-section, which is taking much longer than I had hoped. I'm not on bed rest, but I'm pretty close to it. I'm pretty much always sitting or lying down, except for when I need to go to the bathroom, change, or feed my baby. I don't like it, but it's what my body needs to heal. Both my husband and I are still on maternity-paternity leave. This means that pretty much everything else in our lives falls on my husband right now. He's been doing a great job of taking care of the older kids and making sure everything is running as smoothly as possible, given our circumstances. He's also great about taking care of the baby and giving me breaks whenever he can. But I can tell it's starting to wear on him mentally and physically. Neither of us is sleeping well, and I swear it looks like he's lost more weight than I have since the baby came. Due to my immobility, I can't go out of the house without assistance, so I wasn't able to plan anything fun for Father's Day. I did help the older kids make him cards and ordered him some nice steaks to cook, though. I felt bad because for Mother's Day, he bought me a 6-hour pregnancy spa treatment and took the older kids out of the house all day so I could have some peace. But on the morning of Father's Day, I was feeling worse than usual, as I had strained myself the day before to pick something off the floor and aggravated my incision. So I was laid up all day again. This meant my husband had to do everything that day. I could tell he was irritated and upset when he got the older kids to bed. I told him to try and relax for a bit, but then the baby started fussing and he jumped off the couch, grabbed a pillow, and screamed into it. I tried to calm him down, but he just kept freaking out about how he was at his wit's end and needed a break. He said I couldn't even find a way to give him a single hour of quiet on Father's Day. I started crying, and he just looked at me and walked away to take care of the baby without saying anything. After he took care of the baby, he came back to me and apologized. But he said he needed a break and was going to talk to the family about taking the older kids for a week or so. He was disappointed that his Father's Day was spent running around doing everything for everyone else. He didn't even get to cook his steaks. He ate cold pizza for dinner. I asked him what I was supposed to do because it's not like I can move or leave the house. And he said, I could have looked into a sitter for the kids, or made them sit with me and watch a movie for an hour, so he could have some time for himself. He said he feels like his needs are at the bottom of the list, and he just wants to feel like he matters for one day. So am I the idiot? You're a recovering mother, which everyone should understand, but I've spent 30 seconds reading this and already thought, why didn't she coordinate with a friend or family member, etc., to take the kids for a portion of the day? That takes the bare minimum effort and shows how you care for your man on his day when he's been getting the job done. Hindsight is 20/20, but you are the idiot. Hey, but at least I ordered some steaks so he could cook them by himself. Seriously, at least order food in from a nice restaurant or something to make it feel special. So many conflicts can be fixed if people would just use their brains. You are the idiot, and please call some people to come over so your husband can have a break. It sounds like he needs it. It sounds like he desperately needs it. Unless you left it out, you didn't even console your husband. He broke down in front of you after weeks, maybe months, of doing a lot on his own. Your only response was, well, what was I supposed to do? Seriously, you managed to get access to the internet to post this, but not to find a sitter for Father's Day? Apologize to him and make it up to him. And the next time he opens up to you, don't cry and make it about you. He's literally doing everything for you. I yelled at my stepdad for signing us up for a father-daughter dance that he knew I didn't want to attend. I had already said I didn't want to go to the dance. It's being run through my music club. I haven't told my music teacher that I didn't want to be on the list to receive mail about it. She understood, but then my stepdad heard about it from a friend whose young daughter is in the same music school, so he decided to ignore my wishes and sign us both up for it. He's been in my life since I was 8 and has always wanted to have a father-daughter relationship with me. Even though I was old enough when my dad died to know who he was and to make sure that Dad was a special title only for him and that no one else could hold that title. Even though I've rejected all his attempts to truly become my dad, as he wanted, he even wanted to adopt me and change my name. He wanted me to write it so he could get it tattooed on his body. He wanted me to dedicate Father's Day to him. He wanted to be my dad, something he's pointed out many times. He's begged me to call him Dad, and I always say we can be close, but I will never call him Dad because that special title is reserved for my dad. He said he wanted to be that special to me, that I'm his only kid and he thinks he's a good enough guy to be my only dad. My mom always sides with him and asks why I can't let him be a dad too, like it's something I should want or do just because he wants it. He came home the other day and announced he had signed us up for the dance. He said there was no way he would let this opportunity pass, and that I could do this one thing for him, even if I didn't want to, because it would be fun. I lost it and yelled at him, saying he couldn't make me go and he could go screw himself and his father-daughter dance and understand that he would never be my father. My mom yelled at me for yelling at him. He yelled at me for yelling at him. They said it wasn't my place and didn't care how angry I was. Yelling was not the answer. I told him that speaking calmly and clearly doesn't help. So what else should I do? He said I'm supposed to love him and accept him. Now I have to miss out on a lot of things because of my outburst, and I only get to keep my laptop and internet access because of school. Am I the one in the wrong? Not the idiot. So, the stepfather has an issue with respecting your boundaries, and your mom has an issue acknowledging them. Do you really have to love and accept him just because they said so? No, that's not how it works. Relationships can't be forced. Don't go to that dance and enable his behavior. For real, I've yet to see screaming "love me" at someone ever work out. You're not getting anywhere with yelling. You'll just lose energy and get banned from doing anything. It's time to gray rock. Can't cancel the dance? Just don't go. If you're going to be in the area, just don't dance. Sit down, don't move, go to the bathroom, whatever. I feel so bad for you, living with these two delusional idiots. Tell him that no decent male role model teaches a girl that she has to love a man or accept that man's right to a relationship he has unilaterally decided he wants with her just because he behaves like a nice guy. Tell him that by saying I get to be your dad because I want it, and I've been good, he's no better than the incels who insist you have to give me a chance to be your boyfriend because I'm a nice guy. And if you don't, I get to whine and stalk you and throw tantrums and set you up on forced dates until you do. Maybe that'll get through to him, or at least your mom. I, a teenage male, practice martial arts, and recently my parents relocated to a new city. I found a gym in the new city for the martial art I practice and enrolled. Due to religious reasons, I'm not allowed to touch members of the opposite gender unless they're family members or my future wife. In my old gym, I never had any issues with this. Everyone knew and respected it. I explained this religious rule to my instructor at the new gym, and she understood and said it was perfectly fine. After warm-ups, it was time to spar, and a girl walked up to me, even though many other people didn't have partners, introduced herself, and asked to spar. I thanked her for the offer, but briefly explained that it was against my religion to touch her in any way. She looked angry, stormed off, and found a different partner. I did the same and then sparred without any incident. After class, the girl confronted me, saying I was an idiot for refusing to spar with her. I explained again that it was nothing against her, just my religious views, but she called me an idiot again. She complained to the instructor, who said I could spar with whoever I wanted, and it didn't matter. But she continued to be mad, so I'm wondering, am I the idiot for this? It's a mixed gender class, and there were many girls and women there. Trauma, this is no different. You are not the idiot. It's a mixed gender class, and there were lots of girls and women there. Yes, you signed up for a mixed gender class. This doesn't obligate the women to spar only with women. You're discriminating because your religion is discriminating. Even if you have religious protections that she obviously doesn't understand, you are the idiot, OP. She has a right to attend a class she pays for and not face discrimination. I don't think women only have to spar with women. In general, I think everybody has the freedom to spar with whomever they want, as long as there is mutual agreement. That applies to them and to OP as well. Assuming she's around your age, she's acting out of ignorance about religious and cultural differences. So she's an idiot for keeping up the drama and taking this personally. But hopefully she'll educate herself. You were polite and simply respected your beliefs. You're not an idiot for that. You're totally fine.